Here's how to install Google Analytics using Google Tag Manager. As I mentioned in previous videos, using Google Tag Manager eliminates the need to contact your developer every time you need code installed. Whether it's a Facebook pixel or Hotjar JavaScript, you can do this yourself if you know a couple of basic principles. It also reduces code bloat on your website by literally containing everything in the GTM container. All you have to do is install the GTM code snippet on your website, and GTM does the rest. And by the way, GTM is Google Tag Manager. So Google Tag Manager is also great for when Google Analytics and other companies update their code base, which happens more frequently than probably you're aware. And it will automatically update in Google Tag Manager if you use a tag template. And this eliminates the need for you to keep up on all the technical updates and contact your developer. So let's get started with setting up your Google Analytics. The first thing that you want to do is create a tag for Google Analytics. And tags are like little templates that contain the code base for whatever you're trying to install. So in this case, it's Google Analytics. You could do this in two ways. You can just click new tag from your dashboard, or it's always here on the left-hand navigation. So you can always access it here. I'm going to click create a new tag. And basically, if you click on the tag configuration, Google has all of these templates for you. So if you're using Awin, which is a affiliate platform, or ad roll, Facebook pixel is in here, Google Flights if you're in travel, which you're not because this is the event industry that I specialize in, the Pinterest tag, Twitter's in here, Salesforce, there's all sorts of templates in here. But what we want to do is we want to set up Google and the universal analytics. So this is the most up-to-date code. If you have Classic still running because you didn't update your code, you're a little bit out of luck. So basically, this is the template. It will contain the code base. And for Google Analytics, we want to choose Universal Analytics, and we want to track page views. So that's how Google Analytics works. I like to enable overriding settings in this tag, and then you're going to want to enter your tracking ID. So where that is it's in your Google Analytics. I'm assuming that you have Google Analytics, and you click on the admin, and you come over to the property and tracking info. Click tracking code. And your ID is this UA dash number. So I'm just going to copy the ID. I'm not going to copy the entire code. I'm just going to copy the ID. I'm going to paste it in here, and I'm going to click save. So at this point, your tag is saved, but in order for Google Analytics to work, you need to add a trigger. And a trigger is a way that Google Tag Manager tells your website to fire the code. You don't have to add a trigger now, but Google Analytics will not work on your website. It will not track things on your website until you add that trigger. You need both to successfully use Google Tag Manager. So let's go ahead and set up that trigger. So there's actually only one trigger that you can use for Google Analytics, and that's all pages. And this means that every time a page loads, the tag will trigger, which means it will track all of your page loads in Google Analytics. And your Google Analytics will look like it normally does. So you just click all pages and click add and click save. And now you name your tag. I like to name this Google Analytics base code all pages, and you click save. So at this point, you've set up your trigger and you've set up your tag, and you can see them running. If you go to the tags, you can see our Google Analytics base code all pages, and also in this grid, you can see what the triggers are, and it's all pages. So now it's actually still not published. It's still not ready to go. In order to make any of your changes in Google Tag Manager go live on your website once the code is installed, you have to click submit. So here, Google is actually really interested in version control. This is really fantastic when you're working with vendors and agencies such as myself, or you're working with a developer. This is a way for them to track the versions. So you want to give it a version name. Since this is the first version, I just put added base code for GA, Google Analytics. And then you can give it a version description, added base code for Google Analytics, and set trigger to all pages. You don't have to worry about the version number. Google Tag Manager will take care of this, but this is really great because if you make a mistake, you can go back to a previous version. Also, if you make a mistake and you ask a developer or an agency like mine to help you out, this gives us a little bit of a breadcrumb to see what was going on and when. Once you're satisfied with your version name and your version description, you hit publish. And this is at the point where this goes live on your website if the code is installed. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about how to install the code on your website.